Good morning. I'm here at the Berthoud Pass trailhead, elevation 11,307 feet. And I'm going to be going for Mount Flora and hopefully Mount Eva as well. Looks like the hike up to Flora is relatively short, a couple miles out with just over a 2,000 foot elevation gain. I pulled up to the trailhead at about 5:45 this morning, and there were only about 4 other cars here, so that's great. Starting the trail here just a few minutes past 6 a.m. And the first destination is going to be Colorado Mines Peak. Once we get to the top of that, looks like we follow a ridge on over to Mount Flora. And after walking a few minutes on that trail, it popped out to this road, which is going to go all the way to the top of Colorado Mines Peak. And then as you walk up this road, it looks like there's also a side trail here, which has got to go to the top as well, I imagine. It did look like there was a social trail that bypassed this road and went straight up the side of the hill. However, I really didn't want to do that right off the bat, so I opted for the road. Get a nice little warm up in, because this is really pleasant, real easy. And right here, midway up the road, on one of these switchbacks, a trail does lead up. And then there's a sign right here that says that that is the Flora Peak Trail, number 79. Or you can stay on the road and actually see where the trail continues right up here. Well, I'm giving the trail a try, and honestly, I like the road better. That's looking back down at the hill I'm currently hiking up. And you can see the highway coming up there to Berthoud Pass. Just an amazing view. Got the alpenglow hitting the tops of those mountains. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Am I doing this wrong? Should I be on a trail right now? Because I'm not. I'm just going up the side of this grassy hill to what looks like a factory. I met back up with the road, and I'm already at like 12,300 feet right now. I've already come up about 1,000. I'm going to follow the road the rest of the way up. And as the sun is rising, I'm almost to the top of Colorado Mines Peak, and I believe I can see where I'm heading. This one right here is going to be Flora, and then that one is going to be Eva, and I believe the one to the left of that is Parry. I don't know, let's go check them out. Okay, now I'm really confused, because as I walk down to this saddle, I'm noticing a trail coming up from the left, and it meets the saddle, and that makes sense to me. That's how the trails normally work. You don't go up and over a mountain unless you have to. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that sign I recorded earlier said Mount Flora Trail to the right, which is the way I went. We'll get up there either way. I might have to go down that way though. I really like this trail so far. There's hardly anybody on it, and it's just incredibly beautiful up here. It's going to be Grays and Tories, and we're almost to the summit of Mount Flora. And in just over an hour and 45 minutes, I'm up here, summit of Mount Flora. That is not hard at all. This summit is incredible. You can literally see just hundreds of peaks sticking up all across the state of Colorado. Oh, just awesome. Wow. And this was a really easy hike. Probably the easiest 13er I've ever done that I can think of. And I even went the wrong way and added another mountain to it for the most part. I didn't go all the way to the top of Colorado Mines Peak, but I was about 100 feet away. And that's where I'm heading next. Mount Eva. If Mount Neva was over here and you could do both of them, you could call that route Neva Eva. It's just a few minutes past 8:15, and I'm going to start heading over to Mount Eva. I got some up and down to do. This definitely looks like it's going to be the hardest part of the day. And then to add to that, I'm going to have to do it on the way back as well. On my way over to Mount Eva, and watch me not go up and over this thing. I'm just going to keep it flat and skirt it to the left here. And as I rounded that first little bump, staying flat, which worked out nicely, I intersected with a little trail right here. So of course I'm going to follow this as long as I can. Holy moly, this thing has a drop. I didn't realize it went down that far. And like I said earlier, I've got to come back this way, so I'm going to have to do this twice. This is going to add a lot. Well, here in a few more steps, I'm going to be fully committed to this. Because like a roller coaster, I'm getting ready to go straight down. After going down and then up, I've arrived on kind of a flat section here, which is really nice. And this terrain is fantastic. It really doesn't get much better than this. Almost up to the summit of Mount Eva. This is the final little push. And I'm up here, Mount Eva summit. Looking at Parry Peak, which is the next 13er over. And then if you follow that ridge all the way out, that's Bancroft, or Bancroft, I'm not sure how you say it. And then in the middle, James Peak. I feel like I can get Parry, but I don't think I can quite get all the way out to Bancroft. That's just a little too much time. And there is a chance of rain later in the afternoon, so I really don't want to be stuck up here because I got a long way to go back. But I'm thinking about giving that a try. Looking back at Mount Flora, and you can see that big old dip down. That is gonna suck on the way back. Due to time's sake, I'm not even gonna sit down up here on Mount Eva and just keep it going and try and get over there to Parry Peak. I'm in the saddle of Eva and Parry Peak. It's like 10 o'clock right now. I'm hoping I can be up there by like 10:30 or so. And I'm up here. The highest point of Parry Peak is going to be right out in front of me. And at 4.5 hours exactly, I'm up here to the summit of Parry Peak. This is awesome. Out there to my left is James Peak, and to the right is Bancroft. I'm really tempted to go do this one, but I'm thinking it would probably be smart not to. Look at this view back up to the north. Pretty much all of the Indian Peaks wilderness. You can always see Long's Peak sticking up. You can even see back to the mummies. Oh, this is beautiful. Hardly any wind up here right now. Matt is looking back in the direction that I have come from. You can see Mount Eva and Mount Flora way out there. Just about 11 o'clock. I've been sitting up here at Parry Peak for only about 20 minutes or so. But these clouds are starting to get thicker, and I've got a lot of up and down to do to get back. Plus that real fun section back up to Flora, so I'm going to go ahead and start moving. This is a really cool summit. Kind of hard to get to though. Because if you come up and over Bancroft, not only are you going to have to find a way up that road, but that looks like a pretty steep hike over there as well. You can see the highway cutting through down there. That's the highway that I need to hike back to. That's basically going to lead up to Berthoud Pass. God, the views up here are awesome. on the official Mount Flora trail, heading down. I obviously missed this on the way up, but you know what? I don't feel too bad about it because I talked to 2 other groups of people and they both did the exact same thing. So I'm not even sure where this trail starts down there at the trailhead. I'm not sure if it's like over by the building, and I don't know. I'm gonna follow it down and see where it starts. And that's one final look at Parry Peak, and that sucker is out there. Look how far away that is. It's taken me just under 3 hours to hike back this far. And although we're real close to Berthoud Pass, I still feel like it's like 800 feet below us. So we should come screaming down here any moment. But this sure does beat the road, I'll tell you that. This is much better than the road. Almost back down the trailhead. Maybe about 10 more minutes or so. But this was a really fun hike. I had a great time. Didn't see too many people. Got to summit 3 different 13ers. And I'm just loving these 13ers down here. Kind of by the Denver area, Loveland Pass area. There's just so many down here. And they've all got to have pretty decent views, I would assume. So expect to see more videos of me coming down here doing the 13ers, because I really like them. And the drive isn't too bad. As long as you can get done early enough in the afternoon and get back through Denver before the rush hour starts. Almost back down to the Berthoud Pass trailhead, and right in front of me there is where the road goes by. Remember seeing that sign earlier? Well, if we would have taken this trail, that would have been the way we wanted to go. But we didn't, and we went the road instead. Right here, looks like a social trail leads down to the parking lot. And just as I suspected, this part is incredibly steep. I really wasn't feeling this in the morning. I did see this in the morning, but I was just like, God, I need to warm up a little bit first before I start going vertical. So when you're coming up, you're going to get to this split in the trail. To the right's going to take you over to the road, and to the left is that social trail that goes straight up and connects with the actual real trail. I'm not sure what the distance and elevation gain is going to be on this one, because I didn't really plan it too well before I left. It's kind of a plan B, and then I just kept adding peaks on. So I'm really not sure, but I'm thinking we're around 9 miles, maybe 10, with at least a 3,500 foot gain. It's got to be at least 3,500. Back at the car, done with the hike. And I'm really glad I can finally just sit down now. I didn't take a lot of breaks on that hike because I was worried about the weather and time and everything like that, so I really just kept it moving. I did linger a little bit on Flora at the beginning because I really wasn't sure how far out I was going to go. And then I just kept adding peaks. So that was a great hike. Super awesome. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. That really exceeded my expectations. Incredibly beautiful up there. Fantastic. You will not be disappointed. And really getting up to Mount Flora isn't that hard. I think pretty much anybody can get up that if they just take their time. I mean, you're only looking at about 2 miles. I hope you enjoyed the hike. And until the next one, y'all. Peace.